This is a sweet, modest country girl, a straight-A student, a teacher's favorite, a caring daughter who helps her parents on the farm and wouldn't hurt a fly. Remember this face, because this angelic appearance is the single biggest lie in the entire film. Because in reality, this girl is a living weapon, genetically engineered in a laboratory. And for the last 10 years of her life, she has merely been playing the role of an ordinary human, coldly deceiving everyone around her. Her teachers, her friends, and even her own family. And by the end of this story, she will wipe out an entire facility full of armed men, with a faint smile on her face. And when you finally learn who she really is and what she's been planning all along, your jaw will hit the floor. So get comfortable and let's break this movie down from start to finish with every single twist. It all begins deep in the night, inside the walls of a top-secret government laboratory hidden from the entire world. Behind these walls, horrific things are done. Cruel genetic experiments are performed on children, all in an attempt to grow the perfect weapon. And on one of these nights, everything spirals out of control. Down blood-soaked corridors, stumbling, runs a little girl. She's no more than 10 years old. She's covered head to toe in someone else's blood, her gaze empty and glassy with the horror she's lived through. And behind her, in those rooms, lie dozens of mutilated bodies of the lab's staff. What exactly happened in that lab? How a fragile child single-handedly caused such a massacre? The filmmakers don't show us yet. They leave it a mystery. But one thing is clear from the start. This quiet, empty-eyed girl is the one who did this. Grown, armed, trained men, and not one of them could stop a single child. It's a genuinely unsettling thought, and from the very first minutes, the film makes its point. What looks helpless can be deadly. Two people give chase, a cold, calculating woman in a white coat named Dr. Bike, and her ruthless partner, Mr. Choi. They run this monstrous project. Their creation has just broken loose. They follow the bloody trail, certain they're about to catch the runaway. But the girl manages to slip past the gates and vanish into the night forest. Dr. Beck finds only a cliff, blood on the rocks, by a river, and no body. She concludes that the exhausted, wounded child simply didn't survive, that she fell and died somewhere in the dark. That hasty conclusion will become her single greatest fatal mistake. And the girl, on her last bit of strength, wanders through the fields and near dawn, collapses unconscious right in the yard of a lonely farm. Here live an elderly couple, kind, simple folk, the Goos, who never had children of their own in their whole lives. In the morning, the old man finds a half-dead, blood-covered child in his yard. He and his wife nurse her, feed her, heal her. When the girl finally comes to, something terrible becomes clear. She remembers absolutely nothing. Not her name, not her parents, not where she came from or what happened to her. Her memory seems wiped clean. The old couple's hearts can't take it. They have no children, and here is this lost, helpless girl. So they decide to keep her. They give her a new name, Ja-yoon, and start raising her as their own, long-awaited daughter. And so a monstrous experiment becomes an ordinary country girl. At least that's how it looks from the outside. A full 10 years pass, and the girl from that bloody night grows into a perfectly ordinary, bright high schooler. Ja-yoon is kind, modest, the top student in her school. She runs through the fields, helps her father with the harvest, laughs and jokes with her best friend, and cares for her aging mother. There's not a trace left of that empty-eyed child. Teachers hold her up as an example, classmates adore her, neighbors are charmed, a perfect model girl. And it's exactly this flawless image that lulls everyone around her. It never even occurs to anyone to take a closer look at her. Her best friend is her complete opposite. Loud, bold, a cheeky troublemaker. The two are inseparable. And watching Ja-yoon blush, get flustered and worry over her grades, you'd never believe this girl is capable of anything terrible. The filmmakers deliberately show her as sweet and defenseless as possible. She tenderly cares for her mother, fusses lovingly over her father, gets shy around boys, helps a classmate. In short, does everything to make both the viewer and the characters fall for her and trust her without a second thought. And that's exactly why what comes next hits so hard. But behind this bright picture hides a hard reality. Ja-yoon's family is very poor. Their small farm barely feeds them. Money is always short. Her father works himself to the bone, and the girl's future looks pretty bleak. And that's not all. Her adoptive mother is developing dementia. The elderly woman keeps slipping into a fog, forgetting simple things, sometimes not even recognizing her own family at first. Ja-yoon watches her mother fade and can do nothing. Treatment costs money the family simply doesn't have. These two old people are the only ones who once took in a dying child and gave her a home, a name, and love. And the tender way Ja-yoon cares for them, holding her mother's hand, makes the viewer believe even more that this is just an ordinary, loving daughter. The filmmakers build this image on purpose. Later, it will play a cruel trick on us. And Ja-yoon herself has started suffering strange, ever-worsening attacks. A sharp, splitting headache hits her out of nowhere. Her nose bleeds, her vision blurs, and she can barely stay on her feet. She blames it on fatigue and stress and tries not to show it. But we understand that something serious is happening inside her body. Seeing how hard things are for her parents and how her mother is fading, Ja-yoon decides she has to get money no matter what. And right on cue, the TV is running ads for a huge national talent competition. A massive singing show like The Voice, with a huge cash prize for the winner. Her lively friend latches onto the idea and practically drags Ja-yoon to the audition, for laughs, for the adventure, and of course for the prize. For Ja-yoon, it's simply a chance to win money and save her family. A seemingly innocent whim of two schoolgirls. Except this very competition will set off a chain of events that drags into the light everything that was buried so deep. And so Ja-yoon steps onto the audition stage. At first, it all goes as usual. She's visibly nervous. She starts to sing. Her voice trembles. The judges in the crowd look at the plain country girl without much interest. And then something happens that no one expected. Right in the middle of her performance, the microphone suddenly tears itself off the stand and slowly floats up into the air, hovering in front of Ja-yoon's face. She keeps singing, controlling it with nothing but the power of her mind. Telekinesis, in front of the stunned judges and the rolling cameras. The room gasps. The judges are shocked. The clip instantly goes viral. Everyone is sure it's just a slick, well-rehearsed trick by a talented girl. An illusion, a magnet, sleight of hand. And the recording airs and spreads across the entire country. Everyone took it for a trick, everyone except two people. Dr. Beck and Mr. Choi see the segment on TV and go cold. They recognize her instantly. That girl, their escape project, the one they spent 10 years believing was dead, is alive. And she's just basically waved at them from a screen. To the whole nation, they immediately mobilize their men to bring the escape weapon back at any cost. Soon a strange young man starts circling around Ja-yoon. Polished, perfectly dressed, with a permanent smarmy smile and a frighteningly calm stare. They call him the nobleman. He approaches her like an old acquaintance and quietly says he knows exactly who she is, where she's from, and what she's capable of. Ja-yoon looks at him in utter confusion. She's never seen him before and takes him for a dangerous lunatic. She denies everything. "I'm just a schoolgirl. You've got the wrong person." And from the outside, she seems so genuinely frightened that you believe her. You yourself, like everyone around her, have no doubt. This is just a scared, innocent girl. But the nobleman and his people don't back off. They start hunting Ja-yoon for real, showing up at her school, circling the farm, pressuring, threatening, probing. They're 100% certain this sweet girl is their escaped weapon, simply masterfully pretending to be human, and she keeps playing the frightened victim. Meanwhile, life seems to go on. Ja-yoon successfully makes it into the next round of the competition, and now she has to travel to the big finale in Seoul. It looks like a shot at a normal future, at money, at saving her family. But it's just a deceptive calm before the real storm. Her pursuers decide to move from surveillance to action. One day, the nobleman's men burst right into the farmhouse. They grab and beat the helpless old parents, smash everything, demand that Ja-yoon finally confess who she really is. They press on the most painful spot, her family. And here, for the first time, her mask truly cracks. Something deep inside Ja-yoon clicks like a switch. Her face suddenly turns to stone. Her gaze goes empty, cold, and inhuman. She seems to fall into a trance. And in an instant, the fragile, frightened schoolgirl turns into a flawless killing machine. With inhuman speed and strength, she falls upon the armed men. Trained killers who've taken lives more than once don't even have time to understand what's happening. She moves faster than the eye can follow, bends steel, breaks bones, hurls grown men around like dolls. This isn't a fight. It's a methodical, calm extermination. And when it's over and bodies are left lying around her, the most chilling part happens. Ja-yoon seems to switch back off. Her gaze turns soft and lost again. She trembles, cries, and acts as if she herself is horrified and doesn't remember a thing she just did. The perfect mask is back in place. But this burst of power doesn't save her family. It only confirms her enemy's suspicions. The nobleman realizes he can't beat this girl head-on. She's too strong. So he strikes at the one truly weak spot she has, the people she loves. He takes her adoptive parents hostage, those same kind old folks, and he gives Ja-yoon a choice. Either you come with us willingly or they die. To save her mom and dad, the girl agrees and sets off with the nobleman to the place she once escaped from, that very same secret laboratory. And now she's back, inside the walls of her childhood nightmare. She's met by Dr. Baek, that same cold woman in the white coat who once experimented on her. And it's here, within these walls, that the viewer is finally told the whole truth about who Ja-yoon really is. Ja-yoon is not human in the usual sense of the word. She is a genetically engineered creation, a living biological weapon, grown in a test tube and given inhuman strength, speed, reflexes, and abilities like telekinesis. Everything about her was designed and assembled by people for a single purpose: to kill. And those agonizing headaches are not a simple illness. They're the flip side of her artificial nature. Her special body needs a particular blue serum to live, injected every single month. Without those shots, her body begins to destroy itself from the inside, and she inevitably dies. In effect, her creators kept their weapon on a short leash. Dr. Baek gives Ja-yoon an injection of this blue serum, and in that very moment, the thing the whole film was building toward happens. Right before our eyes, the sweet, frightened, trembling Ja-yoon begins to change. The tension drains from her face, her shoulders relax, and a calm, lazy, utterly cold smile appears on her lips. And we realize the mask is gone, and there never really was one. It turns out Ja-yoon never lost her memory. Never. It was a lie, the biggest and boldest lie in the whole story. For all 10 of those years, she remembered, in perfect detail, who she was, where she came from, and what she could do. From the very beginning, she knew she was a weapon escaped from a lab. And the sweet, kind, forgetful country girl was just a brilliantly, flawlessly played role lasting 10 years. Think about it. 10 years, every single day, with no slip-ups, no cracks, playing an entirely different person. 10 years smiling, crying, and fearing on cue by a script she wrote herself. No ordinary human is capable of that. Only a cold, patient being with inhuman self-control. But why? Why would a superpowered weapon spend 10 years pretending to be an ordinary, poor schoolgirl, milking cows and blushing over grades? And here her true, ice-cold calculation is revealed, the kind that sends chills down your spine. Sometime before all these events, Ja-yoon secretly went to a regular doctor because of those attacks. And she learned something terrible. Without special treatment, she has only months left to live. Her artificial body needs that very serum, which only her creators know how to make. And without it, a swift and agonizing death awaits her. And she found herself in a hopeless trap. To survive, she absolutely had to find Dr. Baek and her laboratory. But after her escape, they'd gone deep underground, hidden so well that finding them by normal means was impossible. The girl searched for them, but they'd seemingly vanished. And so she came up with a plan, cold, calculated, and almost brilliant. She deliberately, completely consciously showed off her power to the whole country. Live on that TV show, not for the prize, not to save her family. That was all a cover. That floating microphone was bait, a lure her creators were guaranteed to take the moment they saw her on TV and come for her themselves. And the plan worked perfectly. Her whole role as a frightened victim, all that pursuit, even the kidnapping of her parents, she consciously allowed all of it to happen, without truly interfering. She needed to be brought right into the laboratory, to the source of the life-saving serum and to the people who know how to make it. The hunters were sure the whole time that they'd caught their prey, when in reality the prey was leading them, step by step, exactly where she wanted. Every move they made, every threat, every abduction, she'd calculated it all in advance and calmly used it to her advantage. They thought they were hunting her, when in truth the hunter, this whole time, was her. And now with her injection received and her full power restored, Ja-yoon finally drops the mask for good. She snaps the restraints binding her like threads. She's calm and she's smiling. And in the laboratory, the thing she came here for begins. A real bloody massacre. Guards armed to the teeth open a storm of fire on her. But against Ja-yoon, they don't stand a chance. She moves like lightning, slips off the line of fire, appears where she isn't expected, and breaks trained soldiers with her bare hands. What terrified her creators 10 years ago repeats itself again. Only now we finally get to see it in all its terrible glory. And you know the most chilling part? There's no rage on her face, no hatred, no fear, only calm and a faint, almost bored smile. To her, this isn't a fight for her life. It's routine work she performs precisely and coldly, as if tidying up a mess. She grabs Dr. Beck and forces her to reveal the key thing, where exactly that serum is produced, the one Ja-yoon can't survive without. What drives her isn't blind rage or vengeance. Everything she does is absolutely cold and calculated. She needs the cure to live, and she needs the knowledge of how to keep getting it. And she methodically, emotionlessly extracts everything she requires from her creators. Mr. Choi shows up too, her second old tormentor, the very one who chased her down those bloody corridors 10 years ago. But she deals with him just as easily and casually, almost in passing, as if he were nothing. Then comes the nobleman's turn, that same smiling dandy who threatened her family. And he turns out to be not so simple. He too is not quite an ordinary man, and he fights for real. A fierce, brutal struggle breaks out between them, but Ja-yoon is still stronger. In the chaos of this slaughter, Dr. Bayek dies as well. And as a final touch, Ja-yoon sets the laboratory ablaze, wiping this cursed place off the face of the earth, along with all its secrets and bodies. Having dealt with her creators and gotten what she came for, Ja-yoon calmly returns home to her adoptive parents. And here the film hits the viewer with one more subtle, genuinely chilling detail. She calmly brings her father a whole supply of that blue serum and matter-of-factly explains how to inject it into her mother to slow her dementia. She's just wiped out an entire laboratory, and an hour later she's sitting at the kitchen table with the old folks, smiling sweetly and talking about medicine for her mom, as if nothing ever happened. And that contrast leaves you genuinely cold inside. And her adoptive father's reaction reveals yet another hidden layer of this story. It seems the old man had suspected something all along. He'd long sensed that something was deeply wrong with their quiet, kind girl, that she was capable of something terrible and inhuman. But he loved her, accepted her, and stayed silent all those years. And a chilling question remains open. Is her own tenderness toward these old people real? Or is it just another part of a 10-year-long role? But the creators weren't lying about one thing. A single batch of serum won't last her long. To truly survive, Ja-yoon needs to keep replenishing her supply, and perhaps something more, which means her cold hunt isn't over. In the finale, the film makes it crystal clear. This is only the beginning. 3 months pass. Ja-yoon arrives to meet a new person, the twin sister of the late Dr. Boyek, who, as it turns out, also has access to the serum and to the project's secrets. The girl no longer hides or pretends. She's calm, cold, confident, and speaks from a position of power. Now she knows who she is, and she isn't ashamed of it. And in the very finale, a mysterious young woman with terrible scars on her face approaches her. Apparently, she's another creation from the same lab. Ja-yoon's rival, another weapon, another secret, one that will be revealed in the second part. This scene makes it clear, Ja-yoon is far from the only one of her kind, and somewhere out there are others just like her, maybe even stronger. Without changing her expression in an icy, matter-of-fact tone, Ja-yoon warns her, "Touch me and I'll kill you." The screen cuts to black. The story breaks off right where it promises, that what comes next will be even bigger and even more terrifying. And now, the most powerful thing about this whole story. The entire film, we, the viewers, were led by the nose right along with the characters. With our own eyes, we saw a sweet, defenseless, crying girl. And we believed her, pitied her, rooted for her to the very end. When in reality, the most dangerous, most calculating, most cold-blooded being in every single frame was her all along. And she outplayed absolutely everyone, her enemies, her family, and you and me. If this breakdown gripped you, tell me in the comments. At what exact moment did you first suspect that Ja-yoon was not who she pretended to be? And be sure to check out the next breakdown. There's another story almost nobody knows, with a twist just as insane. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you there.